Familia, before we even get started, pause whatever you're doing. Put the phone down, close the laptop, lock in, because what just went down in WWE could change the entire landscape of WrestleMania 42. Adam Pearce stepped up and made it official. Bronson Reed is out. And the reason? It's not what you think. Welcome back to Wrestling Streams. No filler, just fire. Let's get into it. Let's set the scene first, because context matters here. Bronson Reed was not just another name floating around on the WrestleMania bubble. This man was one of the most dangerous and most positioned members of the Vision, the faction that has been tearing Raw apart. He was booked, locked in, and loaded for a run straight into Las Vegas. Before the injury, Reed was part of major creative plans for the road to WrestleMania. And then in one brutal, gut-wrenching moment on a February edition of Monday Night Raw, everything changed. Here's exactly what happened. Bronson Reed suffered a torn bicep on the February 23 episode of WWE Raw during a triple-threat Elimination Chamber qualifying match against GUSO and Original El Grande Americano. Now, if you watched it live, you saw something go wrong in real time. The match had to be rerouted on the fly. When Reed went down, GUSO and El Grande Americano were instructed to come up with a new finish on the spot, leading to the former World Heavyweight Champion going over. That's how serious this was. They didn't have time to plan. They had to improvise a WrestleMania season qualifier in the middle of a live broadcast because Bronson Reed went down and he was not getting back up. Now here's where the shock factor really hits. Familia. Reed was originally slotted to win that Elimination Chamber qualifying match before the result was changed due to his injury. Let that sink in. This was not a man on the fringes. He was supposed to punch his ticket to Chicago, compete inside that unforgiving steel structure, and carry the Vision's momentum all the way to WrestleMania. That was the plan, and it got ripped away in an instant. Reed suffered a distal bicep tear and was sent directly to Birmingham, Alabama, following the broadcast so he could see specialists quickly. The injury was serious enough that WWE officials confirmed Reed would be out through WrestleMania 42, the biggest show of the year, in Las Vegas, at Allegiant Stadium. Gone. Just like that. But Familia, the ripple effect of this doesn't stop with one man. This injury didn't just sideline Bronson Reed, it cracked the entire architecture of WWE's WrestleMania booking. And this is the part that will genuinely shock you. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the deciding factor in booking the Orton Rhodes and Drew McIntyre-Jacob Fatu singles matches for WrestleMania as opposed to other options was the injury sustained by Bronson Reed. Read that back slowly. The Cody Rhodes vs. Randy Orton match, one of the most talked about WrestleMania programs of the year, was reportedly being saved for after WrestleMania 42. It was only accelerated because Reed went down. One torn bicep changed the championship picture for the biggest event of the year. That is not a small thing. That is a seismic shift. Bronson Reed's injury didn't just remove him from the card, it reshuffled the entire deck. And the damage to the Vision? Catastrophic. With Rollins, Breakker, and Reed all now out injured, the only members of the Vision who are currently healthy are Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and their manager Paul Heyman. Think about that faction at its peak: menacing, stacked, dominant. And now they're going into WrestleMania season running on fumes. Seth Rollins sustained a shoulder injury in October, resulting in him being written off television, and Braun Breakker also underwent emergency surgery earlier this year. The Vision has been absolutely ravaged by the injury bug at the worst possible time. WWE Creative had to redistribute focus to other names who could carry the narrative forward: different feuds, altered match cards, and a new direction during a critical time on the calendar. And as for that intriguing mystery masked men storyline that had fans buzzing, there were earlier plans involving Logan Paul and a mystery figure interfering in Reed's match, but those ideas were dropped after the injury. Another casualty. Another storyline buried under the rubble of this one moment on Raw. Now let's talk about Reed himself, because this man deserves his flowers even in absence. Reed took a tone of quiet confidence in his public update, making it clear that while his arm is still healing, his wheels still work. No self-pity. No dramatic statements. Just a competitor who understands the grind, who knows that the long road back is part of the deal, and who is choosing to stay locked in rather than spiral. Reed shared a message to fans, promising that he will return better than ever. That's the mentality of someone who isn't done. Not even close. But here's the cold truth, Familia, this will be the second year in a row in which an injury has kept Reed out of the ring for WrestleMania season. 2 years. Back to back. Missing the grandest stage twice. That is a brutal reality for a man who has the size, the presence, and the in-ring ability to be a centerpiece of any WrestleMania card. The timing couldn't be more cruel. And yet this is where it gets interesting from a long-term perspective. WrestleMania has passed, and the immediate pressure of delivering a marquee performance is off the table, giving Reed the chance to focus on a complete recovery rather than a rushed comeback. WWE has every reason to be patient with him. When Bronson Reed comes back fully healed, fully recharged, with a chip on his shoulder the size of Allegiant Stadium, he is going to be a problem. A massive, unstoppable, tsunami-dropping problem. And whoever is in his path when that day comes, God help them. For right now though, Familia, WrestleMania 42 moves forward without one of its most anticipated players. The vision hobbles into Las Vegas depleted. The card has been reshuffled. And one torn bicep on a February night in WWE changed more than anyone could have predicted. That's the story. That's the truth. And you heard it here first on Wrestling Streams. If this video hit different, smash the like button and drop a comment. Do you think WWE should have protected Reed better in that match, or is this just the brutal reality of professional wrestling? Let me know down below. Subscribe if you're not already part of the Familia, and I'll see you in the next one. No filler. Just fire.